Alright, coming on from 390 or 695, I guess. Yeah, Anacostia. Pretty good volume coming on at this moment, but otherwise it's really not, I'd say, a high volume movement. Merging in with traffic from Virginia, southwest. Lane I'm in will become a lane that splits off onto either D Street or stays through. One to the right of me will be forced onto D Street, which is a pretty heavy movement. There's a lot of people who are going to D. A lot of people who will be going to 2nd Street as well. You see the brake lights of everybody getting ready for the D Street off-ramp. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not in the through lane, someone beside me. Oh, that's the Capitol, that's right. Yeah, mine does branch on the D. So, Capitol, heavy movement. Oh, yeah, this is 2nd Street, I think. I forget. Yes. 2nd Street off-ramp is now the next heavy movement. I'm going to get off here. I don't know quite where I'm going to go when I do get off, but switch left and come back onto 3rd Street. I don't know. If I up the New York Ave. Time is about almost 8:40. I haven't rolled back the clock on my camera yet. I'm just going to sit in traffic here, coming off of 395 northbound onto 2nd Street off-ramp. So between the U.S. Capitol, it's D Street, as well as 2nd Street. These are very heavy exits. The through traffic on 395 really is not that heavy. A lot of it, some of it gets on the New York Ave eastbound. A lot of it stays to the right to get onto M Street eastbound, where you're gonna see a decent split between those who continue east on M Street, those who then turn left onto 1st Street and continue north. There's really not many people, I'd say it's a very small number, who then make another left onto New York Ave to go west. The demand is a north and easterly direction, not so much a north and west. Or just west. As the 2nd Street off-ramp, we're approaching Mass Ave. Mass Ave gets busy in the morning. I know Mount Vernon Square in particular really slows things down coming westbound. I'd say eastbound's not bad, but they're both a pretty heavy volume. With Mount Vernon Square really one of the triggers and what slows things down in the area. Mount Vernon Square is just a mess in general from a traffic standpoint. Not entirely great from a pedestrian standpoint either, but it's not DuPont Circle, so I'll give it that. It's also not a cultural destination, and this area in DuPont Circle, of course, a major attraction for pedestrians, but you also have a lot of vehicular movements that converge at that same point. Out here, you don't quite have that major pedestrian focus. There's just not much in this area, which there's a lot of people who are always moving around, a lot of offices and a lot of residences in this area, especially in Noma, as it builds up. And I say that term as a term that people really hate, but there's not many parks or major cultural destinations at this time. I'd say in the area, Union Station may actually be the closest one. Off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm wrong about that. Something else. Chinatown to the southwest. Union Station pretty much directly east. We are somewhat on the tourist track as people come down Mass Ave from more or less Mount Vernon Square. So I think I'm keeping left, and I'm gonna wrap around Mount Vernon onto New York Ave. Actually, I may switch over to being a pedestrian. I think I'll do one last run. Call it that. Now, there's really just a small pocket here of a lane. Yeah, I'm gonna go through here and see where it takes me. That's where everybody else is going. Through is definitely the heavy movement right here. Not really the left. There's construction down there on Mass Ave. I don't know what that's for. Also, I'm apparently losing lanes here. I don't know. I didn't have any direction that left lane was turning on the H Street, but it did. And I think the right lane just disappeared too. Yeah, that right lane just became a right turn only lane. I don't think I saw anything saying that was happening. Huh. Well, with that, I guess right turn is a pretty heavy movement there, because we just lost about a third of our traffic, and 2/3 kept on going through. That's K Street. I've always seen a lot more bicyclists on K Street. For example, there's one right there. There's another one coming. It's obviously quieter than New York Ave, quieter than Mass Ave, and that's why I think you don't see a lot of them so much on those arterials. Is K Street, especially east of Mount Vernon Square. I'm not going to say it's a quiet road, but it's not New York and Mass Ave. I'd say if you were using suburban terminology, it'd be almost a collector. It's not quite arterial, not a local street. Feels safer as a bicyclist, but even then I'm sure it's not the most pleasant environment. 4 lanes of traffic, no bike lanes. I should say I'm on New Jersey Avenue now, going northbound. I mean, 2nd Street just kind of dumps you onto it. My battery is actually getting low. Let's switch that out. The next lap. On New Jersey Ave, there's a sign to the right noting each lane. You have a parking lane, 2 through lanes, and 2 left turn lanes. Oh yeah, I guess I can't go left here. Going through the intersection, but I think that's going to clear out before I get my green. Yep, there it goes. It's starting to clear. No, it's just compressing. There they go. Okay. As we're pointing out, is I am now just to the east of where I would have been if I stayed on 395. So I'd say this definitely appears to be the heavy northbound movement here. You got a lot of people who are coming off of, who stay on northbound 395, keep right on the M Street, loop around, and go north along 1st Street. I am now with also a heavy movement, I'd say heavier movement, which got off of 2nd Street and was keeping north. So yeah, definitely the people want to keep going north. So southbound Jersey Ave is blocked up. This is past N Street. Looks like it's going to keep going to O, and then it clears out. Clear past there. At this point, I haven't seen any major platoon. It just kind of disperses traffic at that point. And there it is.